What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a new video. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you're watching this in the world. I'm very excited for this video. This video's been a long time planning going on, I've been busy with it for a very long time, shooting it differently, because this is the first type of video that we're doing, a Q&A style video. So you guys feel free to let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. Hopefully we can do more in the future. But before we get into the video, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube, you follow on the TikTok, like, share, comment, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Make sure you guys go do that to support the channel. And as always, feel free to leave a suggestion in the comment section below on either platform, obviously, about a topic you'd like to see us cover in the video. I'm always interested to hear what you guys want to talk about, something that you guys are passionate about, that you'd like to see my opinion or thoughts on, or just anything. Basically, leave a suggestion in the comment section below, and I will get to that when I get to it, But jumping into this video, like I said, it was going to be a Q&A. Initially, it was just going to be a solo video, just on my thoughts about this topic, about like how ChatGPT has influenced the teaching world, and how things are moving in terms of technology, and how it's influenced the teaching world, and how it will impact it maybe 10, 20, 30 years from now. It was just going to be me initially, but fortunately, I'm so thankful to have my former English teacher, my former high school English teacher, be in this video. She's provided some answers for us for this video, so thank you very much. Shout out to her. I really do appreciate it. This video is so much better now with her inclusion, because it's nice to have a professional opinion with you when I'm doing these videos. And yeah, I'm so excited to cover this topic, man. It's very nice. So basically, how the video is going to work, going to be question answer, so on and so forth. And at the end of the video, I will basically provide a conclusion, my overall thoughts about what was said, and yeah, wrap up the video at the end. So let's get into it. Let's start with the first question. Let's go. So the first question reads, do you think ChatGPT is a viable learning tool for students?
I definitely think that ChatGPT is a viable learning tool for students if they focus on the fact that we're calling it a learning tool. It is not an answering aid. So it should not be something that helps them to answer questions or, in fact, substitute their own brain work. So if they have questions, they can ask the internet or ChatGPT a question in an instant. And if the explanation is too complicated or too lengthy, they can rectify it. They could say, please explain it in another way, or please could you tell me what this word is? So definitely a very engaging, insightful learning tool if they use it respectfully, responsibly.
Question 2. Why do you think students have turned to ChatGPT so easily?
It is the unfortunate reality. Young people are lazy when it comes to academics. That is a stereotype, but generally it is true. If you don't understand why you're doing something, if the information or the subject topic is abstract to you, there is no reason why the average young person would force themselves to do something or try to unpack something that is difficult to them or doesn't make sense to them. If ChatGPT answers a question for you or makes your life easier or helps you essentially to cheat to get by, why wouldn't you? It makes life easier so that you can focus on other teenage things. So it's too easy.
Question 3. In your professional opinion, do you think there is a place for ChatGPT in the classroom?
There is definitely a place for ChatGPT in the classroom. If a teacher explains a specific topic or unpacks a poem and works with the learners and has allowed their learners to feel comfortable enough to take part in a class discussion, the teacher has to be big enough to admit that they don't always know absolutely everything about every single topic. And then the learners must feel confident and safe enough to actually ask questions, because I've found that learners ask very engaging questions from an angle or in a perspective that you as the teacher might not have thought of, because you have taught that topic so many times or you have such a set viewpoint on that topic. So to answer the questions that learners ask accurately and insightfully, you could definitely refer to ChatGPT. Something like, hey, that's an interesting question. I don't know myself. Let's ask ChatGPT to try to help us to unpack this. So teachers who are confident enough to learn along with their learners could definitely use ChatGPT actively in a classroom with learners sitting right there.
Question 4. How do you combat the use of ChatGPT in your learners' assignments? For example, an essay.
my only my only option is to manipulate the learners, to try to guilt them into doing the right thing, to use my words to explain to them what the ethics is behind it, what the point is of being in school, what the service is that their parents or guardians are paying for, and how making something else think for you just wastes the investment in that service. So that's my only way. Obviously, discipline in the classroom as well, not having any devices out when we're doing things like writing, which is the only thing that's difficult in the classroom with regard to ChatGPT, writing tasks and learners using that to write texts for them. But from a management point of view, we have software. If you suspect that a learner has used AI or ChatGPT to write for them in my subject specifically, we would then type a piece of that text in and it would be analyzed, or we scan the entire text in and we have access to, I almost want to say, higher powers that can confirm or deny whether or not the learner wrote the work themselves. So we have got ways, but in the classroom actively on a day-to-day basis, literally just explaining to learners what the value is in using their own brain muscle. It's like going to the gym and paying a robot to lift the weights for you. Your muscles aren't going to get stronger at all. So why would you do that to your brain, which is also essentially a muscle?
Question 5. Do you think students should be using ChatGPT for homework?
I wouldn't say should be using ChatGPT. I would possibly say could be using ChatGPT if you are stuck on a mathematics sum and you'd like to ask for an explanation of how to figure it out. As you figure it out yourself, if you are stuck with a specific creative idea, if you're looking for vocabulary, trying to develop your own figures of speech, if you're asking it small questions to put together the bricks that you're building your homework with, sure, by all means. When you're studying, when you've got a specific part of your theory, if you don't understand it, if you can't remember that specific part from class, if your notes were ineffective, maybe you were absent, you know you weren't listening effectively on that day, you didn't take enough notes, you're trying to understand it, sure, you could use ChatGPT, but I don't think that we would say that they should be using it.
Question 6. What are your thoughts on the developments in the world of AI, ChatGPT?
My thoughts are neutral. My thoughts are reserved, I think, to keep myself safe, because if I allowed myself to go either way, I would become completely consumed with my opinion of ChatGPT and AI for that matter, because it could make the world of difference to various industries. It could be used for so much good, it could be used for so much bad. Like every revolution, every industrial revolution, every technological revolution. But people are resilient. The human race is amazing. They always come through. So right now, my thoughts are reserved. I'm just trying to read all the different informed discussions that there are around AI, and I'm actually just still forming my own opinion.
And lastly, question 7. With ChatGPT becoming an increasingly popular teaching platform, do you think that human teachers will still exist in the future 20 to 30 years from now?
I've had this discussion with my husband, who is also a teacher, and with others, but I think generally I feel so passionately about it that I end up being the only one speaking, so I need to check that. But that is a human response. It is a human skill, which AI will never be able to replace. Class discussions, learning about facial expressions, body language, verbal cues, visual cues, learning to think analytically, how to just be disciplined enough to sit through something that is difficult and uncomfortable. Like, for example, a maths lesson if it's not your strongest subject. Those types of human skills are the secondary lessons that you're learning in a classroom. It's not just about the theory, it's not just about the subject. It's about the actions, it's about the instructions, it's about the discipline, it's about what your mind goes through when a teacher says, come up with an example, take 5 minutes, think of something. Do you allow yourself to think of something that you wouldn't necessarily have thought of? Do you have that self-discipline, that creativity? It's all of those secondary lessons that you should be learning in a classroom with a teacher. Many teachers are also coaches for various extracurriculars, and a screen or a pre-programmed mentor or system can't necessarily, not just because I'm sure that there would be video systems where they, I don't know, watch you play the guitar and tell you what to correct. But in that case, then can't help you to develop your own style, doesn't get to know you as an individual. I mean, I don't know where all of this development is going, but I definitely think that there is still a very important place for the human element of education, of teachers, of coaches, of mentors, which essentially comes down to the same person at the end of the day, because the industry packs so much on individual teachers that it becomes a little bit insane. I think, yes, human teachers still very necessary. Obviously, I'm biased, so it might be interesting to ask this of people who are in the AI industry. You'd find that human teachers work better, let's say, for the majority of standard teenagers, but there would be a handful of very strong academic, well-disciplined, insightful learners who can work very well with the screen and AI and enrich their own lives that way. But generally, unfortunately, kids need to be policed by other humans. At the end of the day, those policemen are the teachers.
So guys, that was all the questions and all the answers for today's video. Now, to wrap up my thoughts about everything, I was thinking a lot about everything that was said. And for me, two things stand out. There's two things there's a major standout. Number one is the openness about AI and ChatGPT being used in classrooms and being used as a teaching tool. I'm very surprised to see how open she was about the use of AI and how it can actually be very very beneficial to learning to a learning tool, you know. Because I know a lot of people are like anti ChatGPT with like, now we got to keep this out, we got to stick to books, and we've got to make sure that we stay on that path. We got to get it, we got to keep AI at bay and everything like that. But to hear the insightfulness, the insight on a professional opinion on how ChatGPT can be used in classrooms, how teachers should be allowed to be open with the students as well, and the students should also be open to learning with this and using it as a tool, you know, because in the video we spoke about homework as well, and people, and she said that students are lazy, you know, with how easy it is just to punch it into ChatGPT, which is true, you know. I mean, some of us back in the day, we were used to swap notes, trade notes, you know, for the answers for the homework, and just look by it, and by the time we get to the test, we haven't absorbed the knowledge that we were supposed to learn in the homework. And then the second point that I want to mention is that the human learning factor is something that you also mentioned, which is very true, because ChatGPT at the end of the day is not a know-all, end-all, be-all tool. You know, it is something that is supposed to assist you, or well, in this case, the learner, assist in achieving the knowledge and acquiring the knowledge and becoming a better student and learning the process of how things work. And how ChatGPT can do that for you is put things in a way you understand, you know. And how ChatGPT can do that for you is put it in different words or different explanation for you that you can understand. Because sometimes you didn't understand a teacher the way they said it, or you ask a friend and they don't understand. ChatGPT can provide that for you. And there's actually a third point that I just thought about now, was about the teaching in the future, like 20 or 30 years from now, and whether like teachers like in human form will still exist. And I really like the answer that was provided, because I also agree, especially where people are concerned, you know, like with kids, like she said, the kids have to be policed, you know, especially in classrooms and things like that. And how much we actually as people depend on each other, you know, and how much we can learn from each other, how resilient human nature has been. Every technological advance that has happened in the past and things like that hasn't caused major havoc and everything like that. We're still learning on how AI is going to be used. We're still going to see how it's going to be used in the future, and that teachers will still be around. You know, I feel like that is something that I do agree with. I think that is very true and very possible. And none of us know how far AI will be pushed, you know, in the future. What's the barrier to the end of AI? Like, where is the limit? We're going to see how far it goes in the future, and how that affects different aspects of our lives, as previous developments has happened, like from the horses to the motors that provided the car, that changed the world forever. And I think AI is something that is also going to change the world in a lot of aspects, in a lot of different applications with jobs and life and culture and what else is there? Agriculture, growing crops and things like that. So yeah, it was a very interesting video. I'm so glad I could have done this video. This video would not be possible without the answers as well in this video provided. So I thank my teacher very much for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think about it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and have a great day, guys. I'll see you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.